Hello everyone, I'm going to make this intro quick because it's going to go by fast. But you all remember Yoa. She's the one I always do a video on. I'll link her videos below and above in cards. These are her first 3 sessions in the process of going lighter, and then she kind of wanted to take a break and start going darker because she always pulled so warm. It didn't help that she also had red in her hair that she was growing out that we had been doing prior, but it's pretty much grown out now. This is the video that I did on her last time. It is linked below and I will put it in a card up here. We just basically wanted to even out her tone, get her hair healthy again, and now she's back. And this picture is her after goal, which we know we're not going to be able to get her that light, but she wants to see how light she can go. This session we were able to take her to here. To see how we did this process, just go ahead and stay tuned. If you like these videos and want to see more, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. So of course I forgot to take a before picture. I really hate when I do that. Who else does that? Comment below with your hand raised if you guys do that often. But you can kind of see here as I go through her hair what her tones are. I think that's really all you need to see. Her hair faded quite a bit, which I knew it would. And that was my intentions. Which is, if you watch the video that I did on her last time, by watching what I used on her, this is why I did. That's my sister in the background. I just got done doing her hair. I think 4 months. It's been a long time since she had hers done, and she was in dire need. So anyways, you can just see how I'm going through in the bottom part underneath here, just balayaging some pieces. She wants to kind of have a balayage look, so we're going to start that way. I do this in a couple steps actually. I probably could have go ahead and just went through and did all the steps all at once, but I really just wanted to make it less complicated. I wanted to be able to control what I was doing, considering everything that we are doing to her hair. And I want to put a disclosure in here that she is also a licensed stylist. I know I've said it in other videos, but for those of you who have not seen those yet, I'm not recommending taking any client randomly and putting their hair through this process. This is not something that I would do to just anyone. But this is why I'm so appreciative of you all allowing me to record her sessions, that I can actually show you if you're ever in a situation like this, or for yourself or whatnot, maybe a safe procedure to move forward with the goal to see how light they can get. Now, she isn't practicing doing hair. She's actually a realtor also. She has a few kids now and is married, and she doesn't practice right now. She does some hair on the side with her family and everything. So she knows the ins and outs of this. She also has Olaplex at home, and she did a Malibu Crystal treatment on her hair herself at home before she came in, which I 100,000,000% recommend you do before taking anybody with hair in this type of condition lighter, or anybody with previous color. Somebody's wanting to go lighter, just throw Malibu on there, clean that canvas before you paint on it. You know, you clean your walls before you paint on them. You are gonna get a better, more even tone. It's really important, and it makes it a lot easier. The lightener doesn't have to work as hard. It's a no-brainer. Just do it. So we're just going through balayaging some pieces. I'm using the Redken Flash Lift with 20 volume. I will not go any higher than 20 volume. I have not gone any higher with 20 volume. And if it wasn't for Olaplex, I might have just used like 10 or 15. I did add, like per 1 ounce of lightener, I did add the 1/16 ounce of Olaplex rather than the 1/32 ounce of Olaplex, because I did want to make sure there was enough in there, and it was okay that it slowed my lightener down. Slow and steady, I always say, wins the race. You don't want to open that cuticle any more than you have to, and by putting a higher developer on there, yeah, I could have left it on there for less time and rinsed it off sooner, but then you're opening that door further. Another analogy I like to use, me and all my analogies, is like, you know when you get a brand new book and you open it a little bit and you can see what's in there and then you shut it, but if you open it too wide, like you're always, no matter how much you try and shut that book, you're always going to be able to tell it's open a little bit. You just want to, you don't need to open it any more than you have to. You can call me a nerd, that's fine. I'm a hair nerd and I'm proud of it. But these are how I remember things better. When something's explained to me, analogy, I tend to understand them a lot more. Therefore, I remember it a lot more and I won't make the mistake of doing the opposite. So, yeah, definitely going around her hairline. I want to get close around her face. I want her to feel brighter. And when somebody's darker and wants to go quite a bit lighter and you know that you just are not going to be able to get the whole head lighter, just by adding those brighter pieces around the hairline are going to make them feel definitely and actually look a lot lighter than what they actually are. Now, I used a lot of lightener on her hair. I wanted to make sure that it was so saturated because I knew going into this that after this application, and I told her that I would only be comfortable with doing one more application. And that was only as long as she, at home, at least once a week, did an Olaplex treatment to keep up with it. And also, she's going to get the Redken chemistry shots to do in her hair. I did one today. I'll get into that when I get to that part of the video, though. Just, her hair did not feel bad. For as much as her hair has been through, I tell you what, her hair is like, I don't know, must have like superpowers or something and is extra strong. It's definitely very strong hair. Doesn't mean it can't just boom, become bad in a matter of one application. Even if something does seem healthy to you, but you've gone through it a lot, there is a breaking point and you got to be aware of that. And once you push that envelope too far, there's just no going back. Once that hair has lost all of its structure, it's nearly impossible to build it back up. So always be careful. If you're not comfortable doing something, just don't do it. You don't want to put your name behind it, and you don't want, you would feel horrible. I did that to a friend. Her hair, thank goodness it was just a friend. Not that she's any less important, but she's had always been blonde when she was younger, and her hair, of course, was getting darker and darker naturally. And we just, I don't like to use anything more than 20 volume. And I did actually use 30 volume on her one time and let it sit, and I don't know, we just couldn't get her light enough, so I decided to go ahead and use 20 volume, and I put her under the dryer, and I only put 10 on her ends just to kind of in the foil just a little bit, but I put her under the dryer on low, but low decided to be high at that point in time, and she just had some breakage, and it was awful, but she still had hair. But anyways, I wanted to give a tip here, and this is, you remember the Pravana came out with that wand? Well, this is not hot, by the way, right now with me showing you and holding my phone as a camera. I just wanted to show you what I was doing. Then I put my phone down and I used my two hands because I didn't want to burn it. But I did use the flat iron for a little extra warmth. Now, remember when the Pravana wand came out, that was the same idea. I'm not, when you go over the foil, you don't want to pinch down on it. You don't want to touch it with your plate. Just hold the heat over it, and I have it on my lowest setting, and I just go down over it a couple times and just add some warmth there, just because the head dryer doesn't get, it gets everything in the top and the root, but the ends that are out, I just can't get it. I don't have one of those fancy ring dryers. I just have a hood dryer. So by adding some warmth to the end there, carefully and cautiously, only if you know what you're doing, it helped. Now it's kind of cool. I let her sit for about 45 minutes and it lifted to like a level 8-ish, an average blonde. And you can see as I pull them out here, I added, I don't know if I showed it in the video, but I just did a, from roots to ends highlight up in the top and around her face. Because her layers are pretty short up there. She had a baby recently, a year ago. She's had like 3 babies since we've done this, so like she does always have, like she always loses hair around her face and they have to regrow. Which why I mentioned that is because it's normal to get hair loss when you have a baby, and hers just always happens to be around her face. You can see when I pulled those bottom foils away that like you'll see them right here that she just has those short hairs, and I don't touch them with a lightener. They are definitely growing back, but I don't touch those with the lightener. I just let them be because the hair is already weaker around the face as it is. And here is how the color looks after that first application. So this is the second part of the process. I shampooed her and I pretty much dried her almost all the way. Her roots are dry. The ends, it doesn't matter right now. Now I need to bump up her base because she's a natural level. I call it a 1. You guys may call it a 2, but I just assess at a darker level. And I'm going through adding lowlights. Well, okay, so they're like highlights, but they're only going to lighten. I just want to bump up her base a little bit. And she wanted something to where when she grows it out, it doesn't look like a line growing in. So we don't want to do an all over color. So I did 8 NA of the So Color, as you see there, and 30 volume. It's not bleach, so I can use 30 volume. But anyways, I went through and basically did like a highlight with that only at the base, and then maybe over a little bit where it was like warmer in the mid shaft. Now, a little tip here, and I was like blown away when I heard this, and it's actually pretty true to, you know, every time I've used it. I don't know if any of you are familiar with Beth Benardi. Well, I seen her at a hair show one time, and this is what she explained to us is, and I'm going to use the formula I use on you all for an example. If you have a level, well, she's level 1 hair, and you apply a level 8, which is what I did. 8 plus 1 is 9. Divide that by 2, which is 4.5. That is the level it will take her to. And it is what it took her to. Now I put her under the dryer though for about 10 minutes with warmth and the rest without, 30 minutes altogether. This is her glaze, pretty much equal parts of the 7 and the 8 NA, and then a splash of the 8GN, which is a green, will help with the kick out that orangish reddish color that's kind of just sticking in her hair. And this is it processing for a few minutes, and I'm liking where it's going. I did let it sit for about, I think it was like 15 minutes. I didn't want it to get too drabby. Maybe it was 10 minutes, but I had to be careful. So I did a step 2 of Olaplex, which is on her hair right now. I love these little slow-mos. You see all that shine, and that color is just, I can tell it's just going to be amazing. And then after the Olaplex number 2, I did the chemistry shots from Redken. I added protein and added moisture, which is what the hair would be lacking, and the bonds are where all that stuff lives, so we had to obviously make sure we use the Olaplex that's sitting on the hair. And this is our after result. We were extremely happy with it. It looks so natural on her, and I'm excited to see how it grows out. You can see those nice beigey. They're still warm, but they're so much better. I hope you all enjoyed this video. She was extremely happy with it. You can see her natural hair color in there still, but yet you can see those highlights. But if you enjoyed this video and you learned something new, please tell me what your favorite tips were in the comments below. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. I totally appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I'd love to share my knowledge with you. So don't forget to subscribe down there and hit the bell to be notified when I do put more out. Bye.